Live from Arkansas' streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on THV 11 Plus. Good morning. I am Hayden Balgavy.
And I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm meteorologist Tracy Bean. Ashley is off today, so I am pulling double duty during this extended coverage.
Little traffic and weather.
Yeah,
Thank you for that, Tracy.
But luckily it has been, it's been light. It's been good. So
maybe people are starting their vacation, or not weekends early. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, it's going to start to pick up as we have noticed. You know, with Ashley being here.
It's feeling like 7:30. 7:45, and look,
it feels like us to 3 o'clock.
This is nothing until school gets going.
Yeah,
once school gets going, it's going to be.
Yeah, which we were just talking about a few minutes ago is not that far away.
No,
so,
I kid you not. I think kids starting to go back in some areas and districts first week of August.
Yeah.
I mean, we're past July 4th.
Weeks.
I mean,
just
3-4 weeks. You better get going.
Yeah.
And you better get ready because it is approaching quickly.
Addie goes back the second week of August, so it is.
Madeline's back the 4th.
I know, it's crazy.
Nuts.
It happens so fast.
Yeah.
Is it because they are making up for time lost from snow days?
No. It's a completely new calendar. It just depends on the district. If it's a public school, if it's a private school, it just depends.
It's getting earlier and earlier.
And teachers always go back before kids.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
So it just depends on the district as well. So there you go.
All right, let's look at the traffic.
Yeah, let's talk about the traffic this morning. Looking out there right now, things are looking good. We are looking here in Saline County, and things are moving along nicely. Volumes increased just a little bit, but overall, we aren't looking for anything major this morning. And to slow you down, and looking at our map here, everything is looking nice and green. No yellow, no red, no accidents. So again, as Ashley always says, just keep doing what you're doing. And those drive times are looking good this morning, coming in from Conway around 22 minutes, Cabot around 21, and Benton right at 20. So again, overall, not too bad this morning. Just take your time and stay safe. And as far as weather goes, things are looking good this morning. We're starting out with just a few of those clouds. It's a bit hazy out there. We've got a southerly breeze there, and we're going to continue to see that throughout the day. Could be a bit gusty at times. You can already see that haze kind of settling in this morning. It's got this nice shot of the Arkansas River. It is 76 out there right now, and that humidity at 97%. Stepped outside in the weather garden. It's there. It feels like 100%. It's going to be a warm day. We are seeing those temperatures already get into the mid to upper 70s. It's just past 7 a.m. So make sure you are staying hydrated today, and those highs today are going to be around 95. Again, a humid and hazy is going to be that story for the day. And that day planner, again, just a lot of sunshine, a few clouds here and there. Not really looking at a lot of isolated showers. I think most of those are going to stay away today. Could see a little tiny one here and there, but as you're heading into the weekend, things are going to change just a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that radar. So we'll go into all of that in my forecast coming up in a few minutes and let you know exactly how hot it's going to be next week, because it's going to get on up there and feel very much like July. Back to you.
All right, Tracy, thank you. It has been 1 week since catastrophic flooding changed lives and land in Central Texas. Today, President Donald Trump and the First Lady are heading to Kerrville.
The couple is to speak with leaders and members of the community, while the death toll now stands at more than 120 people and another 170 people still unaccounted for. Jared Hill has the latest.
Combing through every inch of Texas's flash flood alley, it's still all hands on deck as more than 2,000 search and rescue crews try to find any of the people still missing after last week's disaster.
I think that everyone who lives here knows somebody who has been affected.
Alden Towler rode out the flood in his attic with his mom, a neighbor, and her 1-year-old daughter.
Having a 1-year-old infant in your arms, as a mom, I just can't even imagine what she was going through.
During a walk along the banks of the Guadalupe River, University of Texas climatologist Jay Banner explained the area's natural risks.
The warm, moist air mass is rising due to the topography of the steep walled valleys, funneling this water very quickly.
He says that should be a part of the equation when thinking about future development. Satellite images show Camp Mystic, where there were more than 700 children reshaped by floodwaters. Since 2016, the camp has built at least 7 structures in or near the flood risk area outlined by FEMA flood maps. In 2020, the county adopted rules to limit new builds in floodways to make sure structures could survive a flood. In Kerrville, a growing memorial for the growing number who didn't survive.
I think it's important to give people a place where they can pay their respects.
President Donald Trump and the First Lady are expected to be among them later today, touring the damage from this devastating disaster. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Back here in Arkansas, Attorney General Tim Griffin is telling local law enforcement it is time to crack down on panhandling by calling it loitering. Similar efforts have faced challenges over the years, with federal courts repeatedly making it clear that panhandling is a First Amendment right. But the Republican AG says there are other forms of loitering that are illegal, and it's in the public's best interest to crack down on them.
The problem is the safety issue. This is a public safety issue. Cars are big and cars are heavy, and cars can kill you. And people hanging out in roads where cars go is a bad idea.
In a statement, the ACLU of Arkansas questioned whether these laws are just attempts to push poor people out of public view.
Developing this morning, a federal court is being urged to uphold a new Arkansas law requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in every public school classroom. The conservative legal group First Liberty Institute has filed a brief in support of the Fayetteville School District, which is facing a lawsuit. The group says the displays are a, quote, symbol of law and moral conduct with deep historical roots. The plaintiffs in the lawsuit oppose the law, arguing it amounts to government-sponsored religion and violates constitutional protections. Similar laws have been passed in Texas and Louisiana, and more states are considering doing the same.
Also this morning, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders just announced more than $735,000 in funding for 12 county road projects across Arkansas, targeting unpaved roads. Here's a look at the 6 counties in our viewing area that will receive funding. According to the governor's office, the projects will help improve local roads by managing stormwater and repairing erosion to keep travel safe and reliable.
Time now 7:08. Developing this morning, the president's frustration with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell appears to be reaching a boiling point. A White House official now denying that a new letter seeks to lay the groundwork for Powell's firing. In the letter, the Office of Management and Budget alleges Powell lied to Congress about the Fed headquarters renovations. It is no secret in Washington, President Trump wants Powell out so he can appoint someone who will cut interest rates sooner. But he likely cannot fire Powell for that reason. Supreme Court rulings forbid it, and analysts say the stock market could tank. They say Trump would need to find some other cause or convince Powell to step down. Some 10 million Americans are waking up under heat alerts, especially to the west, and the worst is yet to come.
The triple-digit heat so bad it is slowing operations at the nation's hottest airport. That'd be Phoenix Sky Harbor. Now it's also causing carbonated drinks to burst.
It got up to 105, 110. You started hearing the cans before you even saw them. When it was 115, 120, half of your stock would be deformed.
Talk about pop. Southwest Airlines just spent millions on 60 new refrigerated trucks for Phoenix and Las Vegas airports. The company also deploys roving hydration stations and rotates ground crews so they can rest between flights.
But after continued complaints from airport workers about the heat, Phoenix city leaders just voted to require airlines and contractors to provide shade, water, and vehicles with working AC. Now let's talk back to meteorologist Tracy Bean, who is filling in for Ashley on the roads this morning.
Well, luckily traffic's been pretty good this morning. We've not had any accidents or delays. We are taking a look here in Jacksonville at James, and we are continuing to look north, and we can see lots of folks beginning to make their way into the metro. Again, it's moving smoothly. There's been a lot of the construction there, and road crews have been out, but things are looking good. So stay safe this morning. We are looking around the area, continuing to see lots of green there on this Friday, so everyone's taking their time and being safe, and those drive times are looking good as well. This morning at Jacksonville, like we just mentioned, Hardin Drive into downtown Little Rock around 18 minutes, Chenal around Rawling, around the Promenade around 14, and for Lone Oak around 25 4 minutes. So again, not too bad. Things are moving smoothly this morning. And as far as that weather goes, well, we're going to have to talk about all of this heat and this dust that is moving in. Today is going to be one of those days it's going to be a bit hazy. We've got this Saharan dust, which is expected for this time of year, but it can lower air quality, make for things to be a little bit hazy throughout the day as well. But it can also make for some beautiful sunrises and sunsets if you're trying to find a positive spin to things. As we're going into the evening hours, we're seeing a lot of that heavier dust make its way into Arkansas, and we'll start to see it pushing out, but we could still have some hazy conditions for Saturday as well before we start to see it push out on Sunday. But it can make a big difference in the air quality. So again, respiratory issues, if you're having a little trouble breathing, that might be why. So again, make sure you are staying aware of that. Just to give you an example of what it could look like, this was last year in August, that clear view, unrestricted visibility, but as we're heading into the afternoon today, we could start to see it look like this, a bit dusty, a bit gray, a bit brown. So again, we're starting to see that just a little bit this morning, but overall it hasn't been too bad. But we'll keep an eye on things. It's not necessarily reducing visibility. It just makes for kind of a cloudy look down the road.